How entire USA will benefit when tax reform passes. President Donald Trump took his case for tax reform directly to the American people, touting his brilliant tax reform plan as pro-worker and pro-American before demanding that Congress unite in the name of common sense to solve this huge problem. Writing in an Labor Day op-ed piece in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, the president detailed his plan to dramatically reduce income taxes for American workers and families. It will nearly double the standard deduction to help families get ahead, Trump wrote. It will make our complex tax code more simple and fair. It will put money back into the pockets of the people who earned it. And it will bring back American jobs by making our businesses competitive once again. Trump started his op-ed with these stirring words, advertisement. As we celebrate Labor Day, we are reminded of the inherent dignity of work and the American worker. In America, we honor grit. We honor determination. We honor craftsmanship. And we honor the men and women who turn dreams into reality with their own two hands. Today, the hopes and dreams of American workers and their families remain a top priority for my administration. That is why we are launching efforts to reduce the crushing tax burden that is harming our companies and our workers. Our self-destructive tax code costs Americans millions of jobs, trillions of dollars and billions of hours spent on compliance and paperwork. Correct. Our tax code is an utter disgrace, and the only people who love it are the lobbyists who profit from it. Trump continued, to fix this, we have made the foundation of our job creation agenda fundamentally reforming our tax code for the first time in more than 30 years. I want to work with Congress on a plan that is pro-growth, pro-jobs, pro-worker and pro-American. In 1986, President Ronald Reagan led the effort to make America the most competitive nation in the world by cutting our business tax rate to 34%, well below the average rate of other developed nations at the time. It worked. Our economy boomed, the middle class thrived and median family income increased. But our economic competitors did not sit still. They saw what we did and started lowering their business tax rates, too. Over the past 30 years, the average business tax rate among developed nations in the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, ECT, fell from 45% to less than 24%. Instead of remaining competitive over the same period, we actually raised our rate to 35%. When combined with state and local taxes, American businesses today are effectively taxed at 39%. We have gone from a business tax rate that is lower than our economic competitors to one that is more than 60% higher. The United States is now behind nations such as France, Germany, Canada, Ireland, Japan, Mexico and South Korea. We're dead last. In response to this lack of competitiveness, large corporations have changed their business models to export jobs to other countries and then ship their goods back to the United States. Other businesses, even classic American brands, have been acquired by foreign competitors or have moved their headquarters overseas. Advertisement. This has been a disaster for American workers. We know that when a business shuts down, or a factory packs up and leaves the United States for another country, the cost is measured not merely in lost jobs. It is measured in diminished confidence and lost hope. We owe it to the American people to fix this broken system. American businesses want to prosper on our shores, and middle-class families are ready for more growth, more jobs and higher pay. That's why my administration is embracing a new economic model, the American model. Under this system, we will encourage companies to hire and grow in America, to raise wages for American workers and to help rebuild our American cities and communities. Americans will succeed and grow together, as one team, with one shared sense of purpose, and one glorious American destiny. It is now time for all members of Congress, Democrat, Republican and Independent, to support pro-American tax reform. It's time for Congress to provide a level playing field for our workers, to bring American companies back home, to attract new companies and businesses to our country, and to put more money into the pockets of everyday hard-working people. If we do this, if we unite in the name of common sense, then we will add millions of jobs, funnel hundreds of billions of dollars into our economy and give America the competitive advantage we so desperately need. Instead of exporting our jobs, We will export our goods, and lift millions of struggling citizens from welfare to work. We will unleash America's full potential. And in doing so, we will truly make America great again. Obama announces plan to launch social media attack on President Trump. The former President Obama will never stay silent and will never stop wanting to be the center of attention. He, as every other person in this country, is waiting Tuesday to see if the president for real is going to end his DACA program. While we support the president in this decision, Obama plans to speak out against the president and to attack him like never before. He refuses to accept that the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program end is near because this is another experimental project of his that he loves so much. Obama used executive actions to launch the program in June 2012, providing assurances before his re-election that he would protect the so-called Dreamers, Politico says. Trump, on the other hand, had suggested in the past that he didn't want to deport Dreamers, saying in April that they should rest easy. But the immigration hawks in his administration have argued that DACA is an illegal program. Obama's current plan is to post a statement on Facebook and link to it on Twitter, where the former president has more than 94 million followers. In his final presidential press availability, he suggested that he would speak out if Trump went after the Dreamers. In his final presidential press availability, he suggested that he would speak out if Trump went after the Dreamers, and that it was one of the few issues where he would feel morally compelled to do so. He said he would not remain silent in the face of efforts to round up kids who have grown up here and for all practical purposes are American kids, and send them someplace else, when they love this country. The single most important thing I can do, Obama told an audience of students in April, is help in any way I can prepare the next generation of leadership to take up the baton and to take their own crack at changing the world. But Politico says Trump could change his mind about the program between now and Tuesday, so the person close to Obama stressed that the statement he's prepared in case of an attack on DACA could change. But the fate of the Dreamers is an issue the former president feels strongly about, those close to him say. And he warned in his last presidential news conference on January 18 that he would not let the program end without a fight. The notion that we would just arbitrarily or because of politics punish those kids, when they didn't do anything wrong themselves, I think would be something that would merit me speaking out, he said at the January 18 news conference. It is sad to see how liberals are supporting and loving illegal aliens more than American citizens. Trump should in fact end DACA. Obama can speak out all he wants to, but his illegal program has got to be terminated. They bring crime and poverty here and are wasting our social services. They have no right to be here. End of Nikki Haley just went ballistic in a fiery speech at the UN. The Hermit Kingdom of North Korea keeps ramping up its aggression. In the latest provocation and round of missile tests, the socialist hellhole claims it has developed a hydrogen bomb that can be fired on an intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM. America's ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley has had enough. Independent Journal Review is reporting on a fiery speech Haley gave following North Korea's latest missile test. Advertisement: Haley called out North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un, saying he is begging for a war. Trump's hand-picked ambassador Haley sternly rebuked North Korea for firing missiles over Japan and their claims to have tested a hydrogen bombs. Enough is enough. We have taken an incremental approach and despite the best of intentions, it has not worked. Members of this council will no doubt urge negotiations and a return to talks. But as I have just outlined, we have engaged in numerous, direct, and multilateral talks with the North Korean regime and time after time they have not worked. The time for half measures in the Security Council is over. Advertisement: Haley said that the U.S. must try any and all diplomatic options left and take the strongest possible measures. Nonetheless, war is on the table, according to Haley. War is never something the United States wants. We don't want it now. But our country's patience is not unlimited, she said. For now, in terms of real action, it sounds like America will get behind very harsh sanctions that can do maximum damage. Only the strongest sanctions will enable us to resolve this problem through diplomacy, Haley said. We have kicked the can down the road long enough, there is no more road left. Haley's strong words echo those of others in Trump's administration who have said it is time for North Korea to stop its fanatical behavior or face the consequences. Do you think America is going to war with North Korea, or will they ultimately decide to leave Russia and China to try to rein in the rogue